welcome to the course of TOSCA customizations. In the C# concept video, I'm going to talk about C# arrays. Okay, so arrays we must have learned in during our college days. What is an array? Starting from your C++. Okay, so array is common in most of the programming language, in almost all the programming languages. Okay, so how we declare the variable in any programming languages. Like if I want to declare any integer, let us say if I want to declare integer number is equal to 1, I have another number integer num1, let us say, is equal to 3, something like that. If I have another number integer num4 is equal to 4, so something like that. Okay, so uh, all these variables are of similar kind, right? So first variable is of similar kind, second variable is of integer, third variable of integer, likewise. Or let us say if I'm trying to get age of uh, particular whatever it is, right, in my program. So let us say the first integer age is 10, the second integer age is 31. Okay, and let us say for the third I am taking age as 23. Okay, so what I am trying to do is I am trying to get age which is of type integer many times, right? So I'm declaring variable, I'm declaring multiple variables, right? I'm declaring multiple variable for same type. Okay, so to overcome this, we have the concepts of arrays. Okay, so it is used to store the objects of similar data type. I can either store the value which are all integer or which all are string or boolean, something like that. Okay, so how array works, let us see in short. Okay, so let us say I have some memory location. Whenever I declare an array, some memory location will get reserved. Okay, so into the memory location, okay, into the memory location, first it will create let us say I'm declaring an array of size 4. So first it will create the first, second, third and fourth. Okay, so let us say my array hold a value of 1. Give me a second. Let us say it holds 3, second array holds 44, sorry, third position holds 55 and fifth position hold 66. Okay, so this is my array and these are the positions. Okay, so what I can say, these are my actual data and then there is something called as indexes. Okay, so in array it starts from index 0. Okay, so the first number is at index 0, second at index 1, my third at index 2 and fourth is at index 3. Okay, so this is indexes. Okay, so when so let us say I know that my particular variable can have maximum of 5 value. Okay, and it is of type integer. So how I can create an array integer? Okay, and then I need to give the name of my array. Okay, integer age is equal to, and now this is how we declare the variable. Now how to distinguish it from array? So in front of your data type you just need to give the square bracket, so this will indicate that this age is of type array. Okay, and of type integer array age is equal to, how we can declare, new, and what is the type, it is of type int, and again fine. And now what it is asking is the array creation must have array size or array initializer. Okay, so as I said, let us say my array can hold maximum of 5. I just need to give the position like size. Okay, what is the maximum number of size, what are the maximum values particular array can hold. Okay, so if I am defining it with size 5, then I can have maximum 5 values into this particular variable age. Okay, so and how I can add the values, so I can simply add the values like age in bracket square bracket 0. Okay, because as I said, it will create starting from index 0. Okay, so the if I want to get the value, or if I want to store the value into the first position, I should give the index as 0. So if I give array of the age of 0 is equal to, let us say, I'll give 45 like this. Okay, so now this will add the value into this particular array age. Okay, so likewise let me add four. Okay, so I can just add 0 1 2 3 4 because index starts from 0, so 0 to 4 is 5 and my array can hold maximum of 5. Okay, let me just change the values. Okay, so this is how I can assign the values to my array. Okay, or we can give the values, we can assign the values to an array at the time of declaration itself. Like when I create an array, int array age is equal to new int, and in bracket itself we can pass all these values instead of giving these values one by one. That's again based on your requirement. Okay, so this is how we can add the values to an array. Now okay, now if I give age dot, do I have any methods to retrieve the values? Okay, so I have some method called as age count. Okay, so it will give me the what is the size of your array. Then what I have, length, sorry, length will give the actual length of your array because length is the property, count was some method. Okay, anyway, we are not dealing with all these properties. What we want to do is we just want to store the values and we want to retrieve the values. Okay, so what is your array? Array is the collection of objects of similar data type. So if I want to store 5 age values into 5 different variables, so instead of defining 5 different variables, I have just defined an array because I know all are going to hold the similar data type, which is of integer, and the maximum number can be 5. Maximum variables can be 5, which I need to create, which I need to store. Okay, so that's the reason I have created it of size 5. Okay, so what is array? Array is the collection of objects of your similar data type. That means if I have created array of integer, I can only store the integer value. Okay, so let us see if I am going to store the string value, what error I am getting. Cannot implicitly convert from string to int, so it is asking me to convert from string to int because this res is string but my array is of type integer, so it cannot convert from string to int. Okay, so now okay, before I jump to the types of arrays, okay, let us retrieve the values from this array. Okay, again, how I can retrieve the value from array? I can simply do console.writeLine and I can give age. Again, how I stored the value, on the similar fashion I am going to retrieve the value. Okay, so if I use age in a square bracket 0, it will give me the first value from the array, which is 45. If you want to retrieve the all the values, then you can put it in a for loop for int I is equal to 0, I is less than age dot length I plus plus, and you can have console dot write line, and instead of 0 what I'll do is I'll put I, so that in the first iteration I'll get I of age of 0, second iteration I'll get age of 1. Likewise I can retrieve values from all indexes. Okay, so this is how we can store the value into an array at the time of initialization as well we can do, and we can retrieve the value as well. If so, if you want to use at any point of time, so you can use like this, age of 0, age of 1, age of 2, something like that. Now what are some advantages of an array? Okay, so it is used to retrieve the value randomly. Let us say I want the value from 5th position. Okay, so I can simply give age of 4, so that I can directly get the value from 5th position. That is, I can access the values randomly. Okay, and we can easily transfer from forward to backward, backward to forward, right? As well. Okay, and if I want to update any data at any position, I can simply assign it again. I can simply manipulate the data. Okay, so basically array is for code optimization. In order to reduce your code, instead of declaring hundreds of variable, you can create an array of that much size and use it. Okay, so this is about single dimensional array. And okay, and what is the disadvantage of array? Disadvantage of array is it is of fixed size. Okay, we need to give the size of an array at the time of declaration itself. So here I have given int of 5, so that means if I am trying to add something like that, give me a second. If I am trying to add something like this, it will not work. Okay, I'll get something array index out of bound exception, something like that. Okay, because my array is of length 5, but I am trying to add 6th value to it. Okay, it will not work because array is of fixed size. Okay, so to overcome this problem, there is another concept which is called as array list. Okay, so I'll be talking about array list in next video. This is about array only. Okay, so this is how we can declare the array, we can store the value into an array. Okay, now there are two types of arrays, single dimensional and multi-dimensional. Okay, so single dimensional, this is what we saw. Okay, this is of only one dimension. This is single dimensional array. Okay, and in multi-dimensional, so we have two-dimensional array and three-dimensional array. So like for declaring one-dimensional array, I have just used only integer of 5. Okay, so if I need to declare an multi-dimensional array, how will I declare that? Int multi-dimensional is equal to new int. Okay, and then in square bracket I need to give all the dimension. Okay, if it is 2D, then 3 comma 3 or 3 comma whatever dimension it is. If it is 3 dimensional, then 3 comma 3 comma 4, whatever dimensional it is, right? So you need to give the all dimensions. Okay, if it is 2 dimensional, like this. If it is 3 dimensional, whatever your dimensions you want to do that. Okay, so frankly this multi-dimensional array, we do not need it any time in our C# customization. Even this arrays we will not be using because it is of fixed size. Okay, so we'll not be using arrays maximum of the time. What we will be using is, we will be using array list. Okay, so I'll talk about array list in my next video, but this was just a small introduction about your arrays, which is a collection of objects of your similar data type, where we can store similar data types into particular objects. Instead of declaring multiple variables, we create an array and assign the values to it. We can store values to it. Okay, so that was about arrays. Next video I'll talk about array list. Okay, thank you.